Hi, welcome to Kremés podcast.
Podcast yang paling receh and garing, but maybe informative too, depending on the day.
I'm T.
And I'm A,
Semoga podcast ini bisa nemenin lo.
and hope you enjoy the episode.
Halo semua, and welcome back to Kremés podcast. Today we are talking, A and I have been basically chatting about lots of different food-related stuff, as usual, because again, A and I are definitely foodies. So we were talking about food, we were talking about all these different sort of, recipes and recipe hacks, and I am quite sort of, active in cooking and posting about it on my Instagram stories and sharing recipes and all that kind of stuff. And this kind of has happened before sort of this whole pandemic started, really. But I guess it's something that a lot of people have started embracing, especially with regards to, coming into quarantine and staying at home. And then the lockdown, you've got, it brings rise to tren yang bikin kayak aneka makanan lah gitu, tapi seperti kayak banana bread or like other things. But also now with like TikTok, and I don't have TikTok, but A's been telling me and I've been hearing about all these great TikTok hacks with regards to cooking or recipes. So A and I thought to just have a great, nice little chat about stay-at-home recipes, our go-to stay-at-home recipes, as well as, taking this time to share each other's and get tips from each other. But also, guys, we would love to hear what your stay-at-home recipes are, how you have been, hopefully enjoying getting back to the kitchen and cooking and making homemade food and drinks. So yeah, let us know in the comments below as well as to what kind of recipes you've been creating or following online, and which ones work best for you. So I guess let's just start with obviously the humble, banana bread. It's kind of become very much like an over-glorified thing, if you will. That is the quintessential stay-at-home lockdown recipe. Do you have a go-to banana bread recipe?
Yes, benar banget kayak di Aussie itu sekarang lagi lockdown atau during lockdown atau lagi stay at home atau even like last year when the first news about the virus hit, kita tuh semua pada for some reason everyone just kind of make banana bread, terus sampai kayak itu tuh jadi kayak garis kayak become a joke gitu between us kayak, oh, how far are you through the quarantine, or how far are you through stay at home when you gonna make banana bread. Jadi kayak lama-lamaan siapa yang bisa tahan untuk gak bikin banana bread, atau when someone made it we're like, oh, you fell into the trap kind of situation. Jujur gue baru mulai bikin banana bread karena stay at home sih, jadi kayak lihat resepnya juga dan juga kayak consider kan kita kan juga jarang ke grocery shopping gara-gara stay at home, jadi kayak the banana actually get what is it called, kayak matang cepet banget juga gitu, dan juga karena emang summer jadi lebih cepet juga matangnya. Jadi I got this banana bread recipe dari nonton YouTuber Zoila. So she was a big YouTuber back then. I don't really follow her much this now, tapi kayak waktu itu dia sempat bikin instastory kan tentang banana breadnya. Jadi dia pakai ada website-nya juga yang dia pakai. I think it's still on her highlight or something like that. Jadi banana bread itu simple banget. Ini tuh dari kayak BBC punya website gitu. Terus dia tuh kayak, jadi yang all you need guys. Jadi ini kita bikin ini untuk kayak kompilasi, tapi juga at the same time if you want to you can write this down and maybe you can try it and make one for yourself. Or this is just simple things that we do, when you're working from home, you have that 1 hour lunch, now you can actually make something and cook something, so it's something simple. Jadi with this banana bread, it's literally just 2 ripe bananas and then 100 grams of butter, 150 grams of flour and 150 grams of sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk, and then 1 teaspoon of bicarb soda, 1 teaspoon of what is the other thing? Bicarb soda. What is the other thing?
Baking powder.
Baking powder, yeah. And 2 eggs, and that's it. You just mix it. Literally kalian cuman kayak put everything together in one bowl. Terus kalian mix, udah gitu doang. Terus kalian sebelum ngelakuin itu, panasin dulu oven 160 derajat, fan. Terus udah gitu, once you like mix everything together, pasti ada lump sih menteganya, biasanya masih ada kayak dikit-dikit gitu, but that should be okay. You can always add things on, so you can add chocolate chip if you want to, you can add like kismis kalau mau, atau like anything you want basically, and then you kind of just pour it into like a bread baking tray kind of situation. I usually line mine with the baking paper, but then also I put like brown sugar on top of it. Like I just kind of glisten it on top of it, so that when it cooks, when it bakes, it just have that like kind of like roasted sugar on top of it, like creme brulee sugar thing. So that has been like my go-to recipe, and you only need to be in the oven for 55 minutes, and then literally kayak preparation itu cuman kayak 15 menit, terus udah kalian tinggalin aja gitu di microwave lagi, tinggalin aja di oven gitu selama 55 menit, and then you go back to your work from home, you go back to doing your own thing, you know, like if you have your small business, you go back to work and stuff like that, and then you just put a timer on, and then when it's done, you just let it cool down for about 10 minutes, and then you have yourself a loaf of banana bread. That's what I would do. But yeah, do you have like your banana bread recipe, or do you have similar things that you maybe not banana bread, what you used to cook when you're at home or in your work from home period?
Yeah, so like, okay, here's the thing with me and banana bread, right? It's like, banana bread was always, I guess, like you said, always my go-to recipe, karena kita selalu, kalau, mainly, kalau kita beli pisang dan terlalu mateng gitu kan, like we always leave it there, and we always kind of like, you know, like just go about each day gitu kan, and then as each day passes, like the banana will slowly obviously go ripe, and it gets ripe pretty quickly. So we always have this like leftover banana that's like, you know, sayang kalau dibuang, dan juga kayak, you know, it's like, but it's also like not good to sort of eat on its own like it's standard banana anymore. So it's like, that's where usually banana bread becomes a thing, because we just always like, you know, let's just make something out of it. But actually I think it's because we would make it so often before quarantine that we kind of got sick and tired of it, especially when lockdown started and it became a thing. So we instead make it into pisang goreng. We make pisgor.
Nice.
Jadi literally the same concept. I mean, okay, where banana bread has more carbs, pisang goreng would have more fat. So it's kind of like the same. Tapi honestly, like, while I do enjoy baking and cooking, I am also a very lazy person. So whatever recipe that is just a lot easier to make with less ingredients is my go-to. And also it doesn't really involve a lot of measuring out ingredients. So with pisang goreng, it's literally like, kalau pisangnya masih utuh, masih ada bentuk, ya bisa kan, gampang kan. Jadi kayak lu tinggal potong. So like we would cut the banana usually like, we would split it in half like vertically, so that there's like two sides, and then we would cut it in half. Jadi it's kind of like divided into four, and then we would just literally coat it in flour, and then digoreng langsung gitu, and it's like super easy, super quick. If the banana udah kayak really, really bad, like sometimes what my mom likes to do is kalau emang pisangnya terlalu matang, she puts it in the fridge, jadi nggak basi gitu kan, so to keep it longer. But if you put banana in the fridge, it gets really brown, and it gets like really like basically like mushy, because it's like both cold and it's like soggy, that kind of thing. So if that banana is like already like really, really bad, you pretty much just mash it up, and kita bentukin untuk kayak bulat-bulat gitu, so it becomes kind of like fried banana bowls in a way. Instead of like the standard pisang goreng kan, usually kan ada bentuk pisangnya kan, kayak usually it's like, you know, it's like a curved to the shape of the banana. But if it's like super mushy, we still use it. We still don't want to throw it away. We just kind of mash it up, turn it into a ball, and then it's like we coat it in the flour or whatever, tepung, and then we just fry it. So it's just, for me, it's easier. I mean, obviously it might be messier because you're frying with oil and it gets everywhere. But for us, that's been, I guess, my substitute to banana bread, because we just made it so many times before quarantine.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, so I was like, I think trying to find different ways to like still use bananas. I mean, sometimes we also make like banana pancakes even, right? So it's like
True, yeah.
pretty much like flour, milk, eggs, kind of like the same concept with banana bread per se, but you just make it into like pancakes and try to make it like, I don't know, a little bit healthier. Karena ortu gue juga lagi coba reduce kayak nggak terlalu makan gula gitu. So we're trying to sort of like find ways we can like naturally sweeten it with fruits and make it a little bit healthier. So make like banana oatmeal pancakes. So just like your usual pancake recipe, add mashed bananas and maybe add a bit of oats or muesli, just to make it a little bit healthier. But yeah, that's my go-to. I think like to the point of banana bread though, like I understand that it's been kind of like, I guess, trending on TikTok. And I know that you've been telling me a lot about sort of different TikTok hacks with regards to, I guess, different recipes. I heard one recently. Was it like the feta pasta, eh? I don't have TikTok, so I have no idea, but like I've literally been like just scrolling through the news and like in like the culture section, because obviously it's a culture section. People were just like talking and like celebrating about this like legit feta pasta TikTok hack that actually works.
Yeah. Like, oh my, there's like a lot of things on TikTok right now, and I think it is like such a platform right now, that it's so new that everyone can be part of it. Like there's no so-called gatekeeper just yet, if you know what I mean. And you know, like it's quite similar with YouTube, where there's different contents where you can get like beauty content, you can get fashion content, you can get food content. And one of the biggest like recipe at the moment is the baked feta pasta thing. So the original baked feta pasta was just with tomatoes, like, and then basil and garlic, and then after that feta cheese, of course, and then you top it up with spinach, and then you just like, so what it do is first you put like your tomato and your basil in like a baking tray, and then you just put olive oil over it, some chili pepper if you want, if not you can some chili flakes if you want, if not you can just put salt and pepper, and then you kind of like mix it all together, and then you have a block of feta cheese, just a block of it, and you just put it in the middle, like in the center of it. And then you just put it in the oven on 200 degrees Celsius for about 35 minutes. And then when you take it back out, it would be like the feta cheese would be like kind of crumbled already. And then you kind of just mix it all together. And then you mix in spinach, like baby spinach into it, and like, you know, if you have any Italian herbs or anything like that you want to put in, you mix it all together, and then while that was cooking in the oven just now, you make your pasta, because your pasta only take maybe 8 minutes to cook or 10 minutes to cook, right, depending to your liking. And then you just top it off the pasta that you cook on top of the baking tray, and then you just mix it all together, and then that's it, that's ready to serve. So it's literally only like 35 to 40 minutes kind of recipe, and it's so easy. Again, you just put it back in the oven, you can leave it for it to cook by itself, you don't have to be there to watch it. But a lot of people have add-on things that they want to add. So like, for example, for me, when I made it, I add on mushroom, because I just have a lot of mushrooms that I haven't used, so I just kind of cut it into pieces and literally just put it together during the tomato phase. Some people might want to add protein, so they can put ham and cheese, or they could put like chicken, they can put like just anything, basically prawns, whatever you think you would like on a pasta. It's just kind of dump it all together, put a feta block on the middle, put olive oil, mix it all, put it in the oven. That's it. It's kind of just as simple as that. And again, your pasta, it could be anything. You can use the spiral pasta, you can use spaghetti, you can use angel hair, you can use macaroni looking one. Like, you can use any single pasta that you want, and it will still work. Like, it actually was really, really good. I love it. It wasn't too salty or anything. It was just right, and it was like a good, like, it's just a good meal. And then it was like, I think the whole baking tray, I eat it with like my sisters and another friend. So like for 4 of us, I only used like 250 grams of pasta. But also that was because we have steak on the side, so that's probably why we only eat 250 grams. But
Yep.
Yeah, as in like you still use the exact same amount of pasta that you would use to eat individually anyway. It's just a different type of sauce that you can kind of incorporate to it, and it's a really easy one. You just put it in the fridge, you put it in the oven, and then that's it. It's done.
Yeah, that's so cool. Hey, it's like, I think TikTok is such a good platform for sharing these things because obviously they're meant to be short, sharp, bite-sized content that people can digest quickly. And while, yes, there may be pros and cons with this new era of how we consume media, and convenience, but in the context of a pro, I think it's really beneficial because it's like, it kind of makes people, I guess in a way, it forces people to be like, oh, gimana gua bisa bikin resep atau hack yang gampang di ngertiin dan yang cepet, yang paling ekonomis, yang, you know, all the really, really good, like, quick, convenient sort of hacks, right? Because it's like, you know, this is our society now, right? And it's like, how can we continue appealing to people, and how do we kind of blow people's minds by saying, oh my God, like, I found a really, really easier way to do it, and it's so much easier, so much faster, lesser tools required, that kind of thing, right? Because I think aside from actual full-on recipes like the feta pasta or the banana bread, or even I think like someone actually made like a perfect egg sandwich or something on TikTok. There's also actual like kitchen hacks, like how to easily remove like an egg yolk with a water bottle, or like how to peel a mango with a cup, or how to like hull or like destem strawberries with a straw. Like so many different ways that like you would think is like so weird and so unconventional, but like it's a legit hack. I think my favorite thing to watch so far, if I've got free time, is literally people like trying all these food hacks to see if they're actually working. Like one of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Rosanna Pansino. She's like, you know, she cooks all these like, you know, culturally in trend foods and stuff. But she's also like fun, like she's just absolutely sort of a joy to watch. She posted, I think, 2 videos of trying TikTok food hacks to see if they work. And they actually do. So it's actually really interesting to sort of see that. I think for me, like in terms of, because I don't have TikTok, but in terms of like my go-to recipes, I would say staying at home and quarantining has led me to become like, I don't know, like slightly lazier. I mean, like when people say that they're at home and they're quarantining or they're having lockdown, they think that they have, you know, they have a lot more time to spend and a lot more time to dedicate to like work or doing other things around the house, right? But like for me, it just made me a whole lot lazier, which is probably like the opposite of what it's meant to be. Tapi gua kayak usually like obviously like I do more sort of complex stuff, but like they're mainly once off. Like in terms of if we're talking about satu resep yang I keep coming back to, or like one food dish that I keep always making, honestly is shabu shabu or steamboat. Because that's the easiest thing ever to make. Because legit, all you need to do is you need to get a big pot, just like one big pot, you fill it with water, and tergantung like what broth or what stock you want. So like if you want a veggie stock, a beef broth stock, a chicken stock, or like, you know, fish stock even, gitu kan, tergantung whatever meat or vegetable you would like to make your kaldu, your soup base, you just do it. For me, the go-to is usually chicken. So it's like kalau kita beli kayak daging ayam di supermarket, kita suka belinya yang kayak whole chicken, yang utuh kan. So we would eat the meat for another thing, or we could save it for the steamboat, and then the bones we just throw in the pot with water, and then we just let it boil for like maybe like an hour and a half to just let the chicken broth turn into like broth, right? Into kaldu. Sometimes we add like spices, like sometimes we add pepper or like cloves, or even like coriander seeds gitu, just to like make it a little bit more like, you know, harum gitu. And then literally all you need to do is just buy like all the steamboat ingredients that you personally prefer. Like there is literally no need for you to prep anything, because obviously you're all gonna be cooking the thing together at the table, right? So there is literally no cooking required or no prep required, aside from like just cutting up vegetables if you want to do that. So like for me, usually kita belinya antara bakcho atau kailan kan. So usually because those vegetables are quite big, kita like just chop it up into like smaller bite-sized pieces. But literally we just buy like bakso ikan, tofu, iris-irisan daging, apalagi ya, like sometimes we have crab sticks, literally anything you want, like yong tofu, in Perth we've got like a dedicated yong tofu store, which basically sells like all the different kinds of like side dishes or like things that you can throw into a big pot for steamboat. But it was also like a big, I wouldn't say tradition, but it was like a big thing that we did back in Jakarta as well as a family. So I think it's just something that I've just grown up and enjoyed doing because there's something fun about, I guess, not preparing a dish by myself and then eating it together, but also preparing the dish together and then eating it together as well, which is a bit of like a flip side as to what conventionally we would do. And I think to the point of like lockdown and quarantine and staying at home, it was meant to obviously be time to reconnect with family, right? To be more together and to spend, to have that time to actually like get off work or reduce time to commute to work to focus on jadi bisa bersama, bisa satu keluarga atau bisa reconnect lagi kan. So I think for me, steamboat has always been my go-to recipe because one, gue malas banget dan gue juga nggak gitu suka selalu harus bikin, lots of different things, lots of different dishes and having to obviously, preparing and doing recipes obviously takes a lot of work and you have to actually do it properly to get a good result, right? So for me, like if we're stuck on like, kalau keluarga gue bilang kayak, oh lapar nih mau apa ya buat makan siang atau makan malam ini apa gitu kan. But if we have lots of different like ingredients in our fridge, like such an easy thing because like if you need more space in the fridge, you can use anything in your fridge, just throw it in the pot and it can become steamboat, right? So for me it just ticks so many boxes, but mainly because I'm lazy. So yes, I saw that you just did like a steamboat as well, hey, for like Chinese New Year, eh? So like I think also like steamboat could be, it's like I guess it has a cultural thing as well, right?
Yeah, I guess so. For me, actually like malah ganti negara. Like for me, the meal that me and my sisters always make and like the easiest one to make is actually kimchi jjigae, which is kimchi soup.
Yeah.
Because for us it was so easy because like literally all you need is just kimchi and then any protein you want. So you can put spam or you want pork belly or beef, like whatever you want, and then tofu. And then maybe the gochujang paste, and then that's it. So literally, you just basically cook the kimchi for about 10 minutes, just until it's like more kayak mushy gitu, kayak udah lemes, gak keras kayak kimchi biasanya. Terus you just put everything together. You just literally dump in the tofu, dump in the spam. I use spam mostly. Put the tofu in, and I sometimes, if I want to juice it up, make it bougie, I put like enoki mushroom on it.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I just put 1 tablespoon of gochujang, which is the red paste, and then 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and then I just fill it up with water. And then all you need to do is just wait until it boils, and then that's it. Everyone can eat. And then that can feed at least like 5 people. And it's so simple, it's so easy, and I can just dump in anything I want. If I want a bit of egg, I just put egg in, and I can put like cheese in and stuff like that. So that would be my easy go-to menu. And literally every time I work from home, I probably eat it like twice in that week. Even like during our lockdown for like that 5 days, I already eat it twice. And then it was like only a 5-day lockdown, but I still eat kimchi soup as one of the meals. But we have given you guys about five different recipes that you guys can try. Hopefully this could help kind of juice up your stay at home or work from home life or experience. Let us know what your type of food is, and please let us know if you have tried it as well, if you guys like it or not, or if you add things to it that makes it a lot better. Maybe we want to try it too. But yeah, do you have anything else before we close the episode?
No, I think it was meant to just be, like A said, quickly sharing, I guess, what our go-to recipes have been during this. I guess for us in Perth, it hasn't been full on lockdown like for a long period of time, but we did have on and off periods. So we just came out of lockdown, I guess a week-long lockdown 2 weeks ago. So I guess it's like now that it's always been on and off, I guess staying at home a lot more has been the new normal. So obviously because we also have families, so we've just been sort of slowly getting used to being in the kitchen a lot more and cooking a lot more. And therefore, like, you know, sometimes we run out of ideas to make as well, right? And sometimes kalian bisa kayak gue, kayak malas banget, kayak nggak ada niat untuk bikin resepi yang kayak super complex, but at the same time you have to like feed a family of like 5 or something, right? But also keep it healthy and like all that stuff. So we hope that the recipes that we've shared have ticked all that kind of boxes. Like it could be a little bit more complex and fancier. It could be a hack. It could be something that's super easy. You throw everything into one go. It could also be something sweet or a little, you know, new take on like, you know, whatever typical dish you would make out of mashed bananas. So yeah, hopefully that's just, you know, a little taster to some suggestions, and hopefully that it's something that you haven't tried yet, and give it a go. Let us know how you go. If you want more details of the recipes, just comment or let us know. We can share you the full recipe details if you'd like. As well, you know, share with us your recipes and what your go-to things to make have been for eating and drinking and enjoying the time during this, I guess, strange period. But as always, guys, thanks for listening. Take care and stay safe. Don't forget to portion everything and eat everything in moderation, or else you might get those quarantine kilos. Or, you know, you might, you know, try to stay, if you guys are interested, or like, you know, make sure that you're aware of staying to your weight goals. So, yeah, even though you're at home, try to stay active as well, to balance out all that you've been eating and drinking. That's something that's probably more for me than for anyone else.
Yep. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening.
Jangan lupa like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with your friends.
I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out with your comments, stories, and even questions on what we should talk about. See you in the next episode.
Bye. Dah.